Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Welcome to this short webinar, which will give you an overview of our new product, Achieving Peak Performance. Before we begin, just take you through a few housekeeping bits and bobs. The webinar will last for 30 minutes. We'd welcome any questions that anybody's got throughout the webinar. All you need to do to add your questions is just move your mouse cursor towards the bottom of the screen. There should be a chat icon, and just type in your question. What we'll try and do is answer all those questions at the end of the webinar. If we do run out of time, we'll make sure that any questions and answers are emailed over to you. What we will do also at the end of the webinar is we'll talk to you a little bit more about our launch event, which is taking place on the 4th of April at the wonderful London Stadium in the Olympic Park. It's free, and if you do want to find out a bit more, we'd love to see you there. We'll give you full details at the end of the webinar. Without further ado, let's give you a bit of a full introduction. So, my name is Lee Morris. I'm an Associate Director at the ANDS Partnership. And shortly I'm going to introduce my co-host for the morning, Luke Whitman, who is our Product Ambassador and also happens to be a motivational speaker, and he'll talk to you a little bit more about that as we go through the webinar. I've been involved in organisational and leadership development now for over 15 years, and I guess where this product really resonates with me is that I'm so passionate about helping people reach the full potential, and that's what this product is certainly designed to do. Just before I hand over to Luke for a little bit, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about ANDS Partnership. Some of you will have experienced ANDS Partnership before, but we were formed in 2003, so we had our 15th birthday last year. We provide a whole host of development solutions: leadership development, coaching, change management, team development. We've got a team of experienced facilitators, and we have our own style. It's a real practical, experiential style to our delivery. You can see up on the screen that we've got a whole range of clients, really, from various different industries, and we're a CMI approved centre as well. So I want to hand over to my co-host now, Luke Whitman, for a little bit of an introduction from him.
So Luke Whitman here. I am an ex-RAF paratrooper, endurance athlete in the loosest sense of the word, and most recently a inspirational speaker, public speaker, keynote speaker, whatever you want to label it. I speak, and it is a fantastic job. And it's funny, actually, I never imagined my life going in this direction. 10 years ago, the thought of being stood in front of a group and speaking was terrifying. And it is funny how things change when you actually apply yourself, how things become more comfortable. So my passion these days is really very similar to Lee in the fact that for me it's about helping others and bring out the best in them, reach their potential. But more than that, actually showing them what the potential is, because I don't think a lot of people realize how much potential they have. No one is better than anyone else in this world, and we can achieve great things if we apply ourselves. But let me just turn back the clock, give you a bit of background story, and explain how I've got from military to kind of where I am now. So when I was 21, I joined the Royal Air Force Regiment, and actually going through school, I didn't really know what I wanted in life. I wasn't that person that was going to be a doctor or a pilot. I didn't have that self-belief. I really didn't know what I wanted to achieve. And because I wasn't academic, I didn't really believe I was going to achieve anything with my life. So when I was 21, I kind of escaped and ran off to the military. So I joined the RAF Regiment, 21 years old, and it was the best decision I ever made. The values that they instill, second to none. So I went through this incredible career. I jumped at every opportunity possible, and I realized actually when I was doing something that I cared so much about, I was really quite competitive. And when you find your calling in life, this just naturally happens. I did 2 tours of Afghanistan, and actually my second tour of Afghanistan, it was with a group called SFSG, which is a special operations unit within the armed forces. So around 4.5 months into this tour, I was working with Afghan soldiers. I was acting as the team mentor, and we was working with the US Marines in a place called Sangin. It was a terrible place. So we would be going on patrols every single day with the US Marines, and would be finding bombs every single day. It was a terrible place to be. And unfortunately, after doing this for a week, I found myself in a position where I actually stepped on an IED myself, an improvised bomb. And it's funny, actually, for me, it took years to kind of build this military career, but it was taken away from me in seconds. It's just crazy how it happens. So the next few years for me was really, I guess, the darkest part of my life. I had to go through numerous operations to rebuild my leg. I had to regain function. I had to learn to walk again. I had to go through a lot of painful rehabilitation, physiotherapy. And at the end of this tunnel, I got told that I was being discharged from the forces, something that I'd always wanted to do. So for me, it was, how can I move forward from this? My life's kind of over. I can't do the job that I want to do. My physical performance now is just nothing. But then that's when I started to change my mindset. That's when I started to change my focus. And I thought, actually, I've been through this. I can't have gone through that for nothing. I need to learn something from it. And I really need to make the most of my life now, post-injury. So that's when I started training again. When I was going through hospital, I put on a couple of stone. It's so easy to do. I just wasn't in a good place. So I started training again, doing all the good things. And actually, before I knew it, I was as strong as I was before this incident. I went on to become stronger. And this is just by having the right mindset. And actually, on the back of this, I went on to achieve some of the things that I've always wanted to achieve. I went to the North Pole. I went to Antarctica. And some of these experiences are absolutely life-changing. Being in an incredible part of the country, such as Antarctica, it changes your life. But these are the things that we're all capable of doing. And on the back of this, I actually realized that it was good for me to get the messages across, to get the things across that I've actually learned over the years for other people to benefit from these negative experiences. And I think what I find interesting is how my life turned post-injury, having going through this traumatic experience and coming outside the other side, even stronger than before. It's funny how this can happen. So my life changed in such a positive way, but the good thing is I only made minor changes, and these are the changes that we can all make. And that's why the Achieving Peak Performance package, it resonates so deeply, within me. Is the things that I did early on in my life to actually get through these experiences are the principles that actually form the foundation of this new program. So they've helped me in such a huge way, and they'll be able to help you as well. So let's move on from this. About this package, about Achieving Peak Performance. Tell me, what is it? Let's start from the start.
Yeah, okay. So Peak Performance it's a practical program, and there's key elements to it which we're going to cover later, but it's really designed to boost employee well-being, to manage stress and mental health, to get people to focus on making lifestyle changes as well that make such a huge impact to workplace performance. We'll look at focusing on helping people build their own personal resilience. So important in your story, Luke, I guess on that. And really, really key on this is that there's a focus not just on the body and not just on the mind. It's actually on both, and both are so key to being at your best, and that's kind of what we're really after. So that's Peak Performance in a nutshell. Really importantly, it's fully customizable. So we recognise that every organisation is unique. They've got the unique needs and requirements, and we want to work with different people to really make a targeted program. So very, very customizable. It's innovative. It uses some cutting edge technology. It's blended as well. So there's a whole host of different elements of the product, which we will come to and we'll explain each one further down the webinar. I think what's really exciting as well is that we've got partnerships with some real experts in different fields. And as part of the program, people will be offered the opportunity to link in with those experts, to have a 60-minute coaching session, which I think will really make a huge impact on them. And, you know, generally as part of this program as well, we want participants to be able to set realistic goals, not goals that they're never going to do, unrealistic. We want people to really focus on achievable goals, and that's what we'll be doing as part of the program.
I'm just looking through this slide here. One of the things that sticks out to me is it's about managing stress, mental health, and this was big in my journey. And the key word there is manage, because you can't just get rid of stress. You can't get rid of mental health. It's learning to deal with it actually, and moving forward after this. And also I want to touch on as well, you said fully customizable. So I presume this is completely bespoke. So, you know, if a company comes forward and says, look, I like this and this part of the package, and actually I'd like to look into maybe this and this as well, is that something you can look into?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to work with different organisations, and we'll put a tailored package together for that.
So I think that's the key with this package. It really is customizable. So, you know, that's what it is. So why is it relevant in the workplace? Why is this new program relevant?
I think there's a real correlation between somebody's mental and physical health, and how they perform at work. You know, productivity and performance levels. And it's not just me saying that. Research suggests that as well. So, you know, there are a whole host of statistics out there, but I've pinpointed a few. Cost of sick leave to UK businesses, £29 billion per year. This is a really fascinating stat, actually. UK adults saying that stress leads them to take sick days off work. Actually, 1 in 10 UK adults.
It'd be amazing to see how that has progressed over the years. Because I'm guessing 20, 30 years ago, this wasn't the case.
Absolutely.
It's just the pace of life these days. It makes people stressed.
Absolutely. Yeah. The average cost of absence per employee, £550. Presenteeism, you know, actually coming to work but not being at your best, actually has a huge impact on productivity, and research suggests that it can be as much as £4,000 per person per year. And a final useful statistic: the most common source of stress for UK adults and the percentage of those who were experiencing it. And there was a whole range of a list of different causes and sources, and work came out number one.
That's
Work was
incredible.
number one. Yeah.
That's incredible. Look, I'm just looking through some of these statistics. It's mind blowing actually. The cost of sick leave, 29 billion per year. This is just, it's such a crazy figure. So this new package, Achieving Peak Performance, do you think it will actually make a difference to some of these statistics?
Yeah, we want to make a difference to individuals and organisations, really. That's what we're after. We want people to make small changes, both at work and at home, that are going to make big impacts. And we really feel that this product will help people do that.
So what does it involve then? Let's break the product down. What does it actually involve?
Yeah, so as we said, it's fully customizable, but at its core, we've got some fantastic technology, and people will wear a heart rate monitor. And as a result of that, there'll be a lifestyle assessment that will be created in a report format, and people will get expert feedback, so they'll be taken through that. And then there'll be an opportunity to have a follow-up on that as well to see some differences. We'll cover that a little bit more later. There's also a performance energies workshop, which will be a day workshop and a real focus on some of these key factors to increase in performance. This will be supported by a digital learning package, so people will have access to a whole range of different resources. So there's going to be videos, podcasts, articles, and people have online access to that. it goes without saying, there'll be the Luke Whitman keynote talk in there as well, and I'll let you just talk a little bit more about that when we come to it. And as I touched on earlier, there'll be an opportunity on some packages for a coaching session with some of our expert partners.
It's all interesting stuff. Look, I want to know more about this heart rate monitor, and I actually know that you've worn this yourself.
I've worn it, yeah.
So how did you find this experience? Did it highlight things that you can improve on?
Yeah.
I know you're a fit guy, you do a lot of training, you work hard. So was it a bit of a surprise to you?
Yeah, the thing is, it's not just about fitness. Wearing the heart rate monitor is it tells you a whole host of things about yourself. At its core is the fact that it uses the heart rate monitor, but it will focus on things like stress. It will focus on things like recovery. Are you getting the right recovery? What's your sleep right? And there will be an emphasis on how you're exercising and what difference that will make. There's a bit of a breakdown, really. So it's on the slide, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But there's a process that people will go through. It's a really straightforward process. Everybody will receive a welcome telephone call, and that will introduce the assessment itself. Advise people how to wear the heart rate monitor, agree the period that they'll wear it, and sort of clarify the process. The important thing there is that people are wearing it at work and at home.
So you are just living your day-to-day life. You're not trying to prove a point. You're not going to the gym every day for 3 hours to show how capable you are. You really do need to live life how you would usually wear it. Otherwise, the feedback's irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. And the great thing, and it does say it on there, is that there's an online diary. So the more references to that, the more you add to it. And you can put that you're in a meeting, you can put that you're running, you're spending time with the family, whatever it might be, and then you can pinpoint whether you might be stressed, you might be in recovery, etc. So it's a fantastic system. And then there's the one-to-one feedback session as well. So you won't just be thrown the report. We'll go through that. It's a really user-friendly report. It's colourful. It's easy to understand. And at the end of it, there's great examples of some of the goals that you can set. So you're not just there with a blank sheet of paper. There's some fantastic pointers on that. So that's the report itself on the right hand side. It's just an example of it. And as we've talked about, it focuses on three things: how you manage stress, how you recover during sleep and actually during the day, because it's important that people are getting some kind of recovery during the day as well. And also the effect of exercise as well. It's a fantastic piece of equipment. It will monitor the steps that you take as well during the day. It'll even give you a sort of a fitness level test.
I'm just looking at this report now. I mean, is it quite easy to read? Will you explain this in depth, or will you just chuck a report at somebody?
Yeah, absolutely not. We'll go through it. As you can probably see, it's color coded, but it will reference various things like stress, recovery, exercise. What's the impact of doing that exercise as well? Is there an impact? It also goes into topics like if you drink alcohol at night, what impact does that have on your sleep? So there's a whole range of different topics. But rest assured, you'll be taken through that. Anybody that
it's interesting actually. I'm just reading through these points on the left: the managing stress, the enhanced recovery, and the exercising right.
Yeah.
And for me, speaking as an athlete, the exercising right is just so crucial to get right.
Yeah.
It's so easy to overtrain or train at the wrong times. Busy people, they might find they only have a window to train between 9 and 10. You go into the gym, you're pumping iron, you're running, rowing, doing what you think's the good stuff. But then you get home and you're just so pumped up. You can't sleep for hours. You're hungry all night. You have an awful night's sleep. So in fact, this will highlight that that's probably not the best time to train, and it might actually be more effective training for 20 minutes early on in the day, just actually finding a smaller window. So that's what I find fascinating about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Part of the program as well is a workshop that we've developed. We've called it performance energies. There's a reason for that, and you can see those performance energies sort of up on the screen there. Anybody that's maybe experienced one of Anne's partnerships leadership programs, that might resonate with them. They might recognise physical, intellect, spirit, and emotional energies, but it fits superbly into peak performance, as you can see. But it's practical, it's interactive, and it's done in our style, and that means that we give people time to reflect, to focus, and to really think about making changes that are going to impact them. It covers so many different elements there. You can,
I'm just looking. These the four main elements, they really work hand in hand as well.
Absolutely.
If you neglect one, the others are going to become more difficult. It's about finding the right balance, and actually having the balance of all four. I'm looking at the emotional one in particular. So this is relevant to the journey that I went on, specifically after having gone through what I went through. The mindset, the resilience, and actually self-limiting beliefs. I wouldn't have done half the things that I've done in my life if I kept these self-limiting beliefs. Actually, you need to break these beliefs down. And it's funny. I'll tell you a story actually. So I'm an ambassador for the DNRC, and Prince William is the patron. And basically, this was a project that involved raising £300 million and building a new military rehabilitation centre. So it was an incredible thing to be a part of. So coming to the end of this project, Prince William invited all the key players, all the ambassadors to Buckingham Palace for a meal. It was incredible. I never thought I'd be in this position, receiving this letter. So I went to the palace, and I sat opposite Prince William at the dinner table. It was just such a bizarre experience. And actually, the reception room, what was quite striking, the reception room when I went into the palace, that was bigger than my house. You could put my house in this room. It was just incredible. So I was listening to conversations that was taking place around the table, and Prince William actually started talking about running, and he was sat opposite me, so obviously my ears picked up. And then he started talking about marathon running as well. And he said, the reason that I have never ran a marathon is because I have a bad leg. I have a bad knee. And actually, what was really funny is when he realised that I was at the table, he looked up and he thought, I should not be saying these things. I remember looking at him saying, look, I feel really sorry for you, sir. It sounds like such a difficult time for you. But, the point is, so many people have these beliefs. So many people, the amount of times I've heard someone say, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. But that's not me. I'm too old, I'm past it now. I might as well just be realistic. Where you should be thinking, actually, if I want to achieve something, you can achieve something. You can achieve anything you set your mind to.
We've certainly all got self-limiting beliefs. It doesn't matter how senior you are. That is for sure. I've just published a blog actually on our website for anybody that's interested about my own self-limiting beliefs and sort of some of the simple strategies. Really,
have a read of that.
Have a look at them. So part of this the workshop as well, of course, is a talk and a Q&A session from you, Luke. Just give us a little.
Absolutely. So as we've already mentioned, that I'm really going to be getting involved with this new product. It's something that I really believe in. And in particular, at the launch event in April, I will be giving a bit of a taste of what I'm all about and the messages that I really want to get across. So I'm going to be telling my story, really breaking it down. And even though I call it a story, it's much more than that. I don't want to be there for the sake of telling this story. It has a much deeper meaning. It's really about showing you all what I've learned, over the years during this journey actually, and encouraging others to just get involved in life, encouraging others that you really should be looking at relevant goals. I'm not trying to say you should go to the North Pole or you should climb Mount Everest. We're all individual. We have different goals in life, and hopefully I kind of point you in the right direction that you think I need to get involved. I need to do this.
These are realistic, using the same principles, but actually realistic to everybody and anybody. That's the point.
No, absolutely. And what I've learned is you need to take the good with the bad. Life's not just happy. Bad things happen, and you fail things in life, but that's not an issue. Actually, the big issue is when people don't attempt to do something because they're scared of failing. They just need to get involved, because you learn so much through these negative experiences. You learn so much through the things that you fail at in life. You just need to embrace these times. And I like to think I'm quite relatable as well.
Yeah,
I'm just an average guy. I'm from an average town.
Yeah, I've been on one of your talks, and the energy in the room is amazing. People are suddenly thinking, I'm going to do this.
And do you know what?
So it's great.
And that's spot on. There's no reason why an average person can't have a big dream.
Exactly. Just another element of the program as well, just to touch on. We obviously recognise that everybody's got individual aims. They've got different aims, different needs as well. So we want to help people recognise those. And with some of our packages, we want to offer a 60-minute Skype session with an expert for their individual requirements as well. So, we put on there, it could be a nutritionist, personal trainer, life coach.
So are these people that you have in mind already?
Absolutely.
Do you know people that can cover these topics?
Yeah, what's great about them is that they share our values. We wouldn't partner with anybody that isn't going to share the AMS partnership values. So people can trust those experts, but they're going to give them such a specialist sort of.
And what I like about this is you kind of realise you can't be specialists in every subject.
Yeah.
So when there is a topic that needs to be, talked about in more detail that you can't cover, you get the right people in to do the job.
Absolutely, that's right. We talked about how tailored the product is. I just wanted to sort of give you an idea of the package. So we have some core components that we've talked about. We're in the heart rate monitor and the lifestyle assessment. There's the performance energies workshop, and that's all supported through the digital learning offering as well. And then there's a whole host of customized components as well. So that's going to include things like the keynote talk with yourself, Luke, a team or organisation report as well, which we can create, and a feedback session as part of that. We can add on the specific coaching with expert partners as well. And then what we'd really advise is get people wearing the heart rate monitor again.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months' time, something like that is a great time, and compare. Have a look at, after making those changes, what difference the program's
It'd be
made.
quite nice to have 2 reports side by side, actually, one in the past, taking on board what that report suggests and what you guys suggest, and seeing how this next report improves.
Absolutely. So we're certainly going to be focused on that, but the customization part of it, I think, is really exciting for people. Just to sort of start to wrap things up a little bit, I mean, the difference that it could make. I mean, I've looked at some research that's been conducted by Firstbeat, and they're the technology organisation that provide the heart rate monitor and the lifestyle reports, and it actually shows by wearing the heart rate monitor, 82% of employees are successful in making lifestyle changes. 85% feel that they're more efficient during the working day as well. 88% say they feel better, and I think that's so important as well. It sounds a small statement, but actually that has such a huge impact. And then 96% would recommend actually going through the process to their colleagues or their friends. So it's a fantastic product, and that's just part of it. With everything else as well, they're getting a real tailored one-stop product, if you like.
I've got to say as well, I'm looking forward to doing this myself. You've sorted me out with the heart rate monitor. I'm quite nervous as well, what it's going to tell me at the end of the week.
Yeah, don't be nervous about it at all. I mean, one thing that we're not going to do is sort of tell you can't do this and you can't do that.
So it's not a blame game. It's not
Absolutely
doing this wrong.
We just want to help. That's purely what we want to do. We want to help people be at the best more of the time, and that will definitely have an impact on workplace performance. So I suppose we're nearing the end of the webinar. The time sort of really disappeared. We wanted to show people that we've got our launch event. So it's Thursday the 4th of April. That's actually the room there on the image that's on the screen now is the room that we're going to be in. An unbelievable view.
Absolutely stunning.
Of the stadium.
Stunning.
You can register a place. It's a free place. And you can do that via the website or contact one of us directly if you want. And quite excitingly as well, I'm just bringing this up on the screen, if you do book and attend the launch event, you get an opportunity to actually sample it. you get an opportunity to wear the heart rate monitor for a period of time, receive a free lifestyle assessment report, and that will really, I think, bring it to life.
There's no reason why you shouldn't come to this event. If you just have a bit of curiosity to what it's about, just come and see exactly what it's about. You'll have the chance to wear this monitor yourself. Just get stuck in and see what you think.
Yeah, please be there. But like I say, if anybody's got any queries or questions or anything like that, then I'm certainly available. I'm just bringing up my details on the screen. Phone me, email me. I know Luke's more than happy to chat through anything as well.
I'm absolutely happy to cover any questions. You can ask anything, in particular on the day at the launch event. It's a chance for you to really get stuck into my mind. You can ask me anything as personal as you want. I'm not shy.
I'm sure you.
Military background. I will talk about anything. So please, I encourage you to.
Fantastic. Well, we've run out of time. So any questions that we've got, and thanks. There's been a couple of questions that have come through. We will make sure that we email responses to those. But I am conscious that we've just gone over our half an hour. So thanks so much for attending the webinar. We hope to see you or anybody else you think might be relevant to at our launch event on the 4th of April. Thanks everyone.